It is finally time for a European Grand Finals. I'm Shogun, joined by Johnny and Turtle, and we have potentially got ourselves 3 series to crown the king of the region, Johnny.
Yeah, you say potentially because I think everybody's kind of expecting, or at least considering, the real possibility that BDS win 2 series in a row here. But do not forget, Vitality have got the pedigree. This is KDOP's, I think, 8th regional final in a row, dating all the way back to Season 3. He hasn't missed one. And, it's only the global pandemic that's prevented him from making more LAN Grand Finals in a row for RLCS. He's the reason why people said you can't stop KDOP. Yep. Let's see if BDS can do that today.
I'm not surprised at all about the desk. If anything, I'm more surprised we're not at a 50-50. This is going to be a closer matchup than people expect. And, you can date this even not too long ago whenever we're talking about in this season alone. You've got the winter and the fall major. Both these teams met each other. And you were talking about KDOP. He was scoring the most goals per game for Vitality. When he gets into a grand final situation, he activates a different form and becomes an absolute monster.
Well, for me, most important player to watch is over on the blue side. Monkey Moon was incredible last time he took to the field. Over on the orange side, I think Alpha 54 has got to be that player. He looks like he struggled most against BDS. Can't quite be his usual magnificent self. Do see KDOP looking to try and set up Alpha 54. Goes low on the shot. Ooh. And they had both angles covered. BDS double committing for the win.
Well, Vitality already off to a great start here. They've got BDS completely pressured into their half, into their goal. This isn't something we see all that often. And we saw such great striking ability from Vitality in the semifinals. They only dropped it 1 game to top blokes there. It was an unbelievable performance from them. And if they can produce the same that they did there throughout this grand final, we all know they've got a chance here. That's awkward, but Fairy Peak does well, deflecting the ball into the corner. Vitality do not look nervous, despite the fact they're against their nemesis. Yeah,
and you're talking about, the form of shooting and how both teams are pretty neck and neck, to be honest with you. You've got Monkey Moon, who is leading the championships with 36% shooting accuracy, but right behind him is Fairy Peak. This is going to be a matchup of phenomenal striking, and you're going to need some creativity to break through that defense.
We talk pedigree. Fairy Peak's in the Octane. That's the card that he started with way back in the, you're talking Season 2, 3 when he's making a name for himself. This is definitely a throwback for Vitality. They need to go back to what they've done before, because recently BDS have been so dominant, but they have never been to as many grand finals as Vitality have. Even if you do add up all the ones they've accumulated this season, this is a great chance. Alpha 54 to the backboard. Mark's there.
Let's keep that pressure on, though. KDOP already up. He'll be unchallenged. Looks to set a Fairy Peak. What a play! Vitality caught BDS flat-footed. And that is a great way to introduce yourself to the series.
KDOP to Fairy Peak to the top corner. Beautiful passing at Fairy Peak. Like Turtle, you mentioned, the shooting percentage has been so impressive. He slots it.
And for me, it's all about the rotation from Fairy Peak coming out. Not only do you get the accuracy on the shot, you get the pass from, of course, KDOP in the grand finals. He's always hitting that peak form. But you also get that perfect rotation from Fairy Peak out of the other's half. And he's waiting for the shot. Great vision from KDOP, great rotation from Fairy Peak, and that's the way you start out the first game.
Extra looks to try and fight back. Got just over 2 minutes to try and get themselves back into game number 1. This first series has always been so crucial throughout the week, and that's not the best play, actually, from BDS. They've now opened themselves back up. KDOP slowly inches his way forward. They know that they don't need the next goal. Alpha, does he want to put this back in field? Yes, he does. Nobody around on the rest of his team. They're staying up over in the midfield, and they've got a good reason why. BDS will look to try and set up. Nothing around. KDOP this time. First shot on net. Probably would have hit the crossbar anyway, but still, Monkey Moon forced to recover and save it.
It's a KG start to BDS series, and a KG start to the entire set, because they've only had 2 shots, and Vitality didn't look under immense pressure for either of them. Monkey Moon with 1 first touch here. Extra's actually backflipped on the spot there. The pressure's absolutely getting to BDS. You got to remember, they're the ones who have all the expectation on their shoulders here. Vitality have done exactly what everybody expected of them. They've gotten top 2. We only want top 1 for BDS. That's what their fans have come to expect from them. And KDOP might be throwing goal here. Extra scrambling back. He doesn't get there, but the post does. It's still 1-0.
Off the backboard, you can see what KDOP was going for. Looking for the setup, and they are all in position, getting passes left and right across the box. finding ways to break through the BDS defense. It looks clean from Vitality. They're starving out BDS.
Uh-oh.
Basically, there's no chance except for right here from Monkey Moon, but it's saved out. Vitality's defense holds up.
I wouldn't say held up, but more held on as they will maintain their 1-goal lead heading into the final few moments of this first game, marked by 8. Wide the low challenge, nobody from Vitality wanting to take that one on, but that is the second time now that Vitality have been a little bit slow on the draw when it comes to their defense. Haven't quite been punished by it. Very Peak back to the midfield. Monkey Moon, that's not going to trouble K-Op, who looks to just try and buy some time. That's a great challenge for himself as well. Well set up for Alpha to get the clear.
Yeah, really good work there from K-Dop, not letting the ball go into the center. But BDS are still posturing aggressively. Extra beats his man to the ball. How's it going to bounce? Not well. K-Dop has it covered.
5 seconds.
Just a few seconds left. It's now up to BDS to put a shot on net. Triple commit and the save for Vitality. Very Peak with one last touch. Confirms the win. And it was a bit of a nervous ending there for Vitality, but they've held on and they had the first blow to BDS, and one of the biggest blows they've suffered all season.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Game 1, we already see how close these two teams are. If you expected BDS to come out here and just storm through Vitality, then you're not going to get the exact match that you were thinking. This is nowhere near that. And you can even tell on the stats, Vitality, they were dominant with the shots, the ball touches, while it's a little bit more even. It was well thought out from Vitality and executed super flawlessly.
That's what we're going to need more of. This was a very hesitant game, I feel, from both sides. The best goal-scoring opportunity did come and was scored by both K-Dop and Fairy Peak. But they're going to need more of that. Over on the BDS side, it just didn't seem like they were expecting some of the misplays that came on the defensive Vitality. We will see more of that as we go through this first series. But a huge chance here as well. If Vitality take the second game, it is a huge mountain to climb if you're over on BDS. Reminder that both teams have got access to timeouts as well. BDS haven't usually had to use theirs. They probably still don't know how exactly that rule works through how little they've really been pressured throughout this season. If Vitality can take this, they might have to consider it.
Vitality, again, the aggressor early in the game. We did see BDS firing back late in game 1. Extra unable to catch up to the first touch there as his air dribble went a bit away from him. I'm looking to, see both teams really iron out those mistakes that we did see in the first game. We saw a backflip on accident from Extra. We saw Fairy Peak just narrowly miss a back wall clear. There's a double mark from Monkey. So, the communication for BDS still needs to level up as well. Both teams are still warming up into this grand final. And this is, new territory for BDS. I don't think any of the majors or regionals have been in throughout the season will come close to what they're currently experiencing.
Well, you think about what's on the line right now for BDS versus Team Vitality. BDS, like you said, Johnny, their fans, everybody watching, we all expect nothing but the best from them, and that's because of the reputation they've built, their performance throughout the entire season. They've been destroying on a tirade, and there's a shot there from Monkey Moon. Could have started things off strong. The shooting seems to have picked up for them, and they're on a roll.
Oh, that's finally going to go in. Monkey Moon found his opportunity. It was an amazing defensive stand, but Alpha just couldn't hold it off anymore. What a shot from Mark by 8. Didn't really aim for the net, just wanted to make life difficult for the keeper.
Yeah, Monkey Moon just capitalizing on the loose ball there. It needed to go into the corner for Alpha. Yes, he saved Mark's shot, but the deflection only sent it into an even more dangerous position. And that's the BDS we have become so well used to seeing this season. They've all joined in the attack. They're all sending thunderous shots on net, and they have taken the advantage in game 2.
So you alluded to what was on the line regarding the positioning of the season and how BDS were expecting them to try and get that first place. But what also is on the line is $80,000. And we all know the lads over on Vitality, they've been in these sort of positions before. They fought for this sort of money before. Over for BDS, this has been their first real season of being in the big money of esports. This is a major opportunity for them to really bolster that bank account. Already got yourself $80,000 just for making it here. Winning this $160,000. All you have to do is beat one of the best top 2 teams in the region. As that's a goal.
What?
Now looking for a breakaway. Up goes Alpha. Monkey Moon Extra trying to get back. Soft shot at Extra will already be there. Alpha ran out of boost, ran out of options, and ran out of time. 1-0 still.
Oh my goodness, you can see what Alpha is thinking. It's one of those shots where you're catching up to it and you're thinking, okay, I better not miss this off the near post, and he's hit it into the far post area, massively overcompensated. That needed to go in the bottom corner closest to him, but the accuracy has let down once again. Now, that was also a massive let-off for BDS, who triple committed, and should have been punished there. Still another chance. K-Dub, he will score! It's in off a BDS player!
And we're in the grand finals. Of course, K-Dop's gonna put this one away, but you didn't expect it to bounce off of a player from BDS. Marked by 8 got the save, and Monkey Moon was just simply in rotation. A disaster to tie things up for Team Vitality.
But it's been a consistent thing so far from Vitality. They're not aiming top corner. They're not aiming for positions where the keeper can push it away. These have been scrappy shots, and either through complete mistake or actual looking for it, it's been difficult for BDS to deal with. They can't quite get the clears that they're after. We've got just under 2 minutes left. And Vitality on the hunt, looking for their chance. They might very well get it. K-Dop very disciplined, holding the midfield line. This is the reason why, because that transition from BDS Turtle, always so quick and always so dangerous.
Oh, that's the thing. You cannot count out BDS at any given moment. They're going to try and throw up this illusion that they're vulnerable, they're weak, their defense isn't prepared, but then you give Marked by 8 extra Monkey Moon, any one of these players, one opportunity downfield, and it could be the end of the game, let alone the series.
The Vitality are keeping the ball in awkward positions. It's been a real struggle for BDS to establish those consistently clean and powerful touches, because Vitality are just chipping it into awkward spots, and they're not shooting really powerfully towards top corners where BDS are waiting. You saw there from K-Dop in the last goal. Just slots it down low. It's a difficult ball to clear. So credit to Vitality. They're making life very difficult for BDS right now.
And Turtle, you might be able to bring a bit more light to this, but when a game is at full pace, the pace that you're used to playing at, it's actually easier in a bit of a way because your muscle memory takes over.
Absolutely.
But in a game like this where things are slowing down, people are making mistakes, how does that affect you mentally and how you try to approach the game?
It's all about the hesitation. Whenever you're in a high-pressure situation like this from, a grand final standpoint, you are completely worried about whether or not you're making the right decision, how you should move down the field, because whenever you said it's all, fast-paced, you're relying on muscle memory, it's easier to feel relaxed because you're used to it. But when things slow down, you get a little bit hesitant and you start making some mistakes.
Oh, this is trouble. BDS are on the ropes here. They do not have a lot of boost between them. In fact, I think Marked by 8's got 14, and that's pretty much it. 100 pick up for extra. That's huge. He's on the back wall, covering any rebound in that area, but it's still in the air, not now, and into the ground for overtime. 1 goal separates Vitality from a 2-0 lead.
Alpha already trying to chase down Marked by 8. He sets up one-on-one against K-Dop. Looks for K-Dop's car, but there's the cavalry from Team Vitality. And now a couple of demos. K-Dop, he's on through. Monkey Moon's just respawned, so K-Dop spotting that. But chooses to take his time a little bit more. Fairy Peak lines himself up.
Wow.
K-Dop! Wow! And that is Vitality stepping up to the event.
Game 1, it was K-Dop to Fairy Peak. Now it's Fairy Peak to K-Dop.
Oh my goodness.
The 2 legends, the 2 players with the most experience by far are using every ounce of it to really apply the pressure to BDS. Game 1, you can say BDS just a bit slow at the gate, but now Vitality showing consistency and, as we talked about, shooting well.
Absolutely, and this might be where you start to worry for BDS. It's typical for them to lose that first game, to get, those jitters out of the way, the emotions, all of the issues in that first game kind of bled into this one, and Vitality kept up with the vision. They found the connections upfield into the corners, and this time, like you said, Johnny, it was Fairy Peak back to K-Dop, paying back that previous pass that we saw in Game 1.
I think that is going to be pretty terrifying for BDS because this is also money in the bank later on for Vitality. The more they sort of feint these first-time shots and then they're passing it to somebody else on the field, the more they can then rely upon that later on in the series where they can have that play around and then just shoot anyway because they're already prepared over on BDS to try and save whatever that pass is going to be. So far, Vitality have come in with the game plan that has been fully required to take down BDS. Both games so far being within 1 goal, but also both games so far going to Vitality.
So BDS, they have beaten Vitality from this exact same position before. They've been 2 games down, and then they won 4 straight in a grand final in one of the regionals for this year. So it's all about now for BDS to try and get that train rolling. They've got to get the comeback out of the station. And we've not yet seen if Vitality will be able to stop BDS once they do get momentum in their side, should that happen today.
And you can see what Alpha's plan is on Vitality. He's so aggressive, and he has been this way the entire time. But marked by 8, we talk about aggression. Look at this positioning so far forward. He gets the dunk and then finds the first goal.
Slapped it away from him. Marked by 8. Gets his team up by 1. Will that lead be enough? You would suspect no. They're going to have to keep out on the hunt, try and get themselves that second goal. Is Very Peak having an argument. At least he got the 100 boost, and he sticks around. Alpha, infield pass, and this continues to work. K-Dop and Fairy Peak just loitering around the penalty box, and they keep getting the delivery.
Oh my goodness, Alpha with the reset pass. There's absolutely no way the defender was expecting that one. Alpha was angling his car as if to shoot the ball, and at the last second chooses to pass. Clearly, that is Vitality's game plan here. They're setting up every single passing play with a fake shot. All of their run-ups look like a shooting threat, and BDS can't ignore that. But BDS, they have to ignore that. You have to identify the greater threat, which is the player running into a completely undefended position who's about to have an undefendable shot.
Yeah, and it's so difficult as well in this situation, because if you're a little bit nervous, you're feeling tense, odds are you're going to assume he's going to take the shot, and you're not worried about anybody else. You just want to be able to find the positioning to get that first save, so you don't expect anybody to go for a flip reset pass, especially in the third game so far in the grand finals. All this pressure, but Alpha, he doesn't care. He's going for the risky plays. He knows what it takes to win this set.
Alpha will play this the same way in Game 1 as he will in a potential Series 3 Game 7 overtime. There is no other way for him, as it has always been. He does avoid being hit by Mark, who I suspect didn't quite have the boost. Lovely passing play yet again. Alpha bumped away. Monkey Moon can follow. Wants to get the block. Almost managed to sneak it underneath. Now an opportunity for extra. Tried to come in. Was never really the angle to shoot from. Vitality. It hasn't been pretty when they're on defense, but they're making it work, and they made this one work yet again. Alpha scrambles into position.
Yeah, it's great ball pressure by Alpha. 2 consecutive plays. He's taking it away from the danger area as they start to establish more of a boost game to contest this pressure that BDS are so famous for. But, you know, BDS, yes, they've had the terrifying seasonal record. We have to, again, just recognize the pedigree they're up against. K-Dop has to be, in my opinion, the greatest striker of all time worldwide. He's made a career for himself just based off hitting the ball hard on target, and he's doing that today.
That's something that they've found so easy in previous seasons, that him and Fairy Peak, you might remember at the end of last season, just seem to be having a little argument between themselves. Who's going to get the passes for us to score? Who gets to take that #1 shooter record? As here goes Fairy Peak, almost managed to find the double tap extra. Getting there early enough. For BDS, 3 major wins. They want to cap it off.
The 1v1?
With the Grand Championships. K-Dop did incredibly well. Marked by 8 off the backboard, and that is a bit wasteful, actually. Fairy Peak should be able to control, wasn't able to. Monkey Moon shot went low. 2 players jumping yet again. Vitality not afraid to double commit save. So far it's worked, but it can also become a little bit of a catastrophe if the touch isn't good enough to get rid of the ball.
We're definitely not seeing as much pressure. Oh, just I say that. Extra Dinksy inside of the post, but it's wide once again. And it's still safely in the corner for Vitality. But where is that terrifying offensive presence marked by 8 that we're so used to seeing? He usually runs a complete riot over Vitality. And it's been a bit quiet. Here's Alpha. He's trying to slip on right. It's wide open for Fairy, but the last-ditch save, Monkey Moon collapses onto the ball.
Off the post, several shots in a row. BDS have held off. Ridiculous stance there, but you think the shooting, if it was any bit better, Vitality would have found their second goal. We've got a minute left. Both teams have exchanged several punches, but nothing has broken.
And it is a crucial minute for BDS. Would need an extremely rare reverse sweep in a best-of-7 if they are to turn this around. Should they lose it? Back into the midfield. This is where Vitality have been dangerous so often. Ended up arriving a little bit too late and too many cars in the way. Now Monkey Moon looks to break. He's the only one in front of the ball. Didn't really have any passing options. And Mark Bates made a mistake. Up goes Very Peak. Feints out Mark. Pass over to Alpha.
Well played.
And that is well covered. That is what has been missing from BDS.
Yep.
Getting a car in front of it.
Yeah, Monkey Moon read the pass there. Vitality have been going for that same play over and over again, passing from shooting positions. And that time, Monkey Moon saw it coming. He identified the threat waiting in the middle and managed to intercept the pass.
Alpha takes over. Maybe one last opportunity. Who's it going to go to? K-Dop and Fairy Peak again jumping up at the same time. Vitality have been unpunished for those. Last chance, extra off the backboard. They're going to look for Alpha and him and Fairy Peak. What's one more double commit for the roads? One each. Overtime, Johnny. Winner of this one, it's either a series on or it's BDS with a mountain to climb.
Yeah, you feel like BDS really need this one, but should they get it, then what a turnaround we might be looking at, because once BDS do get on the board, they have found it so easy to get on the board again and again in the past.
Back down, Alpha looks to follow. Low boost off the ceiling. Who's the first one to it? It was the blue car of Monkey Moon. Good pressure so far from Vitality. Don't have anyone to run onto one of those infield passes that have served them so well throughout this series. Monkey Moon looking to set over the top, and K-Dop will jump the ball up once again.
I love the way Vitality are moving down the field and trying to keep possession. Even whenever they're on offense, they're getting several back passes or even touches to the far corner. If they don't follow it up after that initial touch to the midfield, it still works out. Where was the defense? The aerial miss from Team BDS. Nowhere to be found.
Oh my goodness. Mark by 8 has missed that one by a mile. I don't know if he was expecting it to hit the ceiling and come down to meet him, but it definitely did not hit the ceiling. It's gone right over his head, and it wasn't a boost problem either. He had 100. That is just Mark by 8 autopiloting a bit too far forward, jumping with too much momentum, and misreading the ball that is just beautifully arced over the halfway line and then into BDS net. That is a disaster, because not only have they lost the third game, but they've lost it on, I think, the worst misplay of the entire series.
As you can see, timeout taken by BDS. They have no other option, really. They haven't shown up at their own level so far.
Yeah.
And Vitality, they have taken advantage of every single mistake. And what might be the scariest here, Turtle, is the fact that Team Vitality are getting a lot of chances on the breakaway. BDS putting players forward and then not getting the positioning right. They are making those mistakes. We look back earlier on in the game. Alpha had a chance earlier on, which didn't quite turn in. Vitality could be scoring a lot more from those, and BDS needs to recognize it and make the adjustments.
Well, and it's even more nerve-wracking for BDS because they've got to realize that. You know, it's not just Team Vitality winning slowly and by 1 or 2 goals here and there. There's also, like you said, more opportunities that they could be putting away. There is a huge gap in the Team BDS defense that needs to be fixed. Johnny Boy, you alluded to it as well. It's the passing and reading those plays from Vitality. You've got to find an interception, put a player in between that passing lane and the shooting lane, and maybe you could have a better chance at transitioning and catching Team Vitality too far forward.
And, you know, it looked like they had solved that problem. Monkey Moon with an exceptional interception at the end of the regulation time here. I think that was, for me, you know, a really big turning point. It showed that BDS had identified Vitality's main game plan going forward. But that's just a straight-up misplay. I've got to think that Mark by 8 was expecting that to hit the ceiling, because he jumped as if he was expecting it to hit the ceiling. But actually, instead of booming the ball out of defense, the Vitality defender actually just arced it gracefully. And that's something the Vitality have also been utilizing to their advantage. They're not just slamming the ball towards BDS and giving BDS all that momentum to utilize when they fire it right back. How many times have we seen BDS this season dominating those matches where the ball's pinging around the field and they can get themselves up to full speed? I think in the more awkward moments where you're having to play a bit more slowly and a bit more precisely, Vitality have been extremely consistent.
Oh, here we go. Game number 4. And surprisingly, we are looking at a potential sweep against BDS. They need that quick timeout to have worked out well for them. That's a Vitality. Keep doing what you're doing. It's not stopped working just yet, despite every single game being within 1. There's that chaos extra. Wanted to try and get past all 3 players on the goal line. Nice feint out there from Mark by 8. Looks to go for the top corner, and it didn't quite drop for him.
Yeah, it looks like he just couldn't make up his mind whether he's going to try and double that one in or if he's going to just try and air dribble in directly. Now there's nobody back. Fairy Peak denied. Mark by 8 only keeps him out for so long though because Alpha 54 is also there. A pretty heroic initial save after the whole team went for the ball.
If you didn't think BDS were panicking, check out this play. All 3 players up. Marked by 8 is forced to pick up the pieces and try to put them back together. But it's far too much to ask for. Team Vitality, of course, they've got somebody in position to punish. It's Alpha 54, the first goal, and they might just get this sweep in the first series.
Well, he's trying to pick up the pieces for an incomplete puzzle because BDS are missing something right now. And, you know, they need to find that something pretty quickly. Here's Mark again. Doesn't actually land the reset, so there's no way that he can accelerate himself into the ball. Huge dunk there. Fairy Peak sets up Alpha 54 for one of his own, and he's going to score it. The threat was there, and Mark by 8's pre-jump didn't get him close.
I mean, you can just see all the respect that Mark by 8 is giving Alpha 54, and Alpha knows that. He takes advantage, goes for the flip reset, slows the pace of the ball down, and it completely throws Mark by 8 for a loop.
BDS have not been swept in a best of 7 ever. We are 3.5 minutes away from it happening for the first time in this team's career. And this is the event and the opportunity really showing how much pressure it puts players under. We know just how experienced Vitality are. BDS have not been able to deal with it. We've seen triple commits, mistakes on the ball, misreads off the ceiling. Everything that could have gone wrong for BDS has gone wrong for BDS, but we also know that they can switch this around as well as they've got another series in hand. Should they end up losing this one? Monkey Moon off that backboard. There's extra. He's too far forward to really take a shot, so instead he keeps the pressure on. First one to it is Mark by 8. Oh, Fairy Peak. And it drops lovingly over to K-Dot, who could not have asked for it to settle in a better position. Monkey Moon one more time, looks for the top corner. And Vitality, as they have been all series long, they're happy to commit to that ball every single time. They trust the recovery.
And we just saw the demo there from Fairy Peak with a far corner shot from Monkey Moon. Is gonna put one in, start the movement now, and try to prevent Team Vitality from making history on them.
A strong shot by Monkey Moon over the top of 2 goalkeepers, and they do still have time on the board. Should this game end, as many in this series already have, with BDS pressuring, and they might have a real chance to come back here, but they have to stop making mistakes. Vitality have been brilliant today, and this is just testament to their preparation. It's testament to the organization that back this amazing team who have already, you know, put themselves in the Hall of Fame for competitive Rocket League, but unsatisfied as always. Kid Up, always a winner. Fairy Peak alongside him for so long.
One of the reasons I was happy to see the timeout. We got to see some of the amazing facilities these teams are using. Do get extra, can't get the ball past Fairy Peak. As well to at least challenge 2 players, and very difficult to create opportunities whilst you're over in the corner. BDS don't really have many other options right now. They've got to get something going. Monkey Moon very close to extra, off the backboard. Fairy Peak, what a touch over the top of the oncoming challenge, but still pressure from BDS. They look to tie it. Fairy Peak, who palms the ball away. Still at 2-1. How much Kate up this time, Task with the save.
Oh my, the defense from Vitality has to be making BDS question themselves. These are some vicious shots that they're firing on the net, and they've been saved back-to-back by pre-jumps.
Unbelievable. We've even seen some demos then coming out of Team Vitality. You get the pre-jump save, and then you relieve the pressure, but look at the 50-50 game from Mark by 8. It's into the corner, though. It might not matter. Off the post. Maybe the follow-up finds it. Alpha 54 is on fire.
Nobody believed.
Look at it. Unreal. Time and time again, we're seeing clutch saves, but there's always another shot, and usually it's BDS who have the other shot, Shogun. Today it's Vitality. They lead by 2. Are they really about to do this? Are they about to 4-0 BDS in the first series? BDS, thank goodness this is a set, or else they'd be in massive trouble.
Now Fairy Peak, he's going to seal the deal. 3 goals up. And to me, lads, The major difference has been the quality in the saves this game. You saw how it worked out for the previous goal. Save, instantly follow up because it's trickling into the midfield very slowly. A great position for a third man to come in for a shot. But when, I mean, somehow Vitality, we've seen the quality of their saves, but we're also the quality of where they're getting the ball to afterwards. They're pushing it into the far side of the field. It's been impossible for BDS to get that follow-up shot.
It's just unreal. Alpha is dancing around them once again. There's nothing BDS can do at the moment. It's the most one-sided game of the series.
I mean, it's just so layered from Team Vitality, and their ability to keep the composure is unmatched right now compared to BDS. Whenever they're under pressure, they're finding these pre-jump saves. You expect them to break down eventually, but they make recoveries with every player, and then right here, you find a pre-jump save, but they get immediately back into rotation, like here from K-Dop, and get that clear out. It's unbelievable to watch, especially against a Team BDS that seems to be back in shooting form here in Game 4.
K-Dop looks to get it back over to Alpha. Will Monkey Moon be able to stop it?
Wow.
It doesn't even matter if
is.
he had.
GG.
It's 4-0. BDS
Unbelievable.
have not been swept in a best-of-7 all season until now. Team Vitality put one hand on the trophy.
Wow. Well, who said that it was going to be one-sided? Who said there's no point tuning in? It's already BDS.
Sure, everyone said
who have got the
mate.
victory.
They just weren't right.
Production team, quickly start making the congrats Vitality for winning the entire RLCS championships. They only made one for BDS, but they're going to need to get to work pretty quick. If Vitality can dispose of BDS like they did in the second series, we're going to be in for a quick one, but not for the reason we expected.
And it was a very abysmal start for Team BDS in the first two games. Game 3, it was a bit in between. They were finding their form, but still making issues. But then in Game 4, their shooting, like I mentioned earlier, seemed to be far better than anything we've seen all series long. And they tested the defense of Team Vitality, and Team Vitality aced that test, found every pre-jump save, stayed in rotation, and managed to transition out lovely. Shogun, you mentioned the quality of touches and the intention of where they're going after they transition out. It was beautiful, and that was one heck of a statement in the first series.
Now, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself just yet. One, because I do want to see this go to our third series, but two, we have to remind ourselves, apart from that last game, they were all within one goal. Every single match was on a knife's edge, especially game 2 that went to that overtime. We could have seen a very different series, but Vitality were the ones that were able to hold their nerve, and they did it in phenomenal fashion. We're going to see whether or not they can keep that going. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, it's series number 2.